Random. You're first. Hey, Democrat lady. So we got a lot of sitting ducks here. Sitting there like sitting ducks. And our pecan friend is over here like a sitting duck.
She is sitting.
So how are you guys doing? Uh-oh. Doing pretty well, Democrat lady. Oh.
Hey, don't chase them.
So the
Bryson, come here.
tranquility of the ducks will have been short-lived here.
Bryson.
It wasn't until just a moment here.
Look at the white duck. Don't chase it, Bryson.
We had peaceful ducks. Hey, Josh Jones. So they've succeeded in corralling the ducks. I'm not seeing anything, Josh Jones. It's an interesting game to play, but I'm not seeing anything.
Let's go, Bryson. Let's go, Bryson.
Okay, well, we had a large collection of land ducks that have been scared back into the water. Yeah, MC, that's true. There's a lesson in there. Water escape. Yeah, it's helpful, I guess, when you're when you can exist in multiple dimensions.
What's the comment?
No particular comment.
Yeah.
Hey, Colin. Good to see you. So Josh, like I'm saying, I'm not seeing anything. It's possible, but I'm not seeing it. Nope.
Oh, all the ducks.
So we've now lost all the ducks.
All of the ducks are in the water.
Colin says quack. Hey, Colin. He says interdimensional ducks. I think it's a Howard the Duck was written. Yeah. Colin, glad Patrick isn't seeing this. He'd be upset. Yeah. I guess our pecan has stayed. Oh, Colin.
What did Colin say?
Fling the kid in. Democrat lady, we're not back in DC, no. But we will be. We will be soon. Ted first. How deep do you think this water is?
Probably not that deep.
I bet it's no more than about
2 feet.
You think it's 2 feet? I don't think it's that deep.
I don't think it's 2 feet. I think maybe 1.
Yeah, maybe a foot, maybe like 10 inches. I think that might be dangerous, Josh. Randoms, get a snorkel and join the ducks. I think I could probably exist in this water without a snorkel. Well, let's try to get some ducks back. Is this dry?
Is it dry? It's quite dry.
Yeah, pretty dry. Okay, we're gonna try to
Some duck poop.
get some ducks here. Kyle says
I got it.
shallow hope go fling. Yeah, I think well, no, they just moved. So
Get Carla to come over.
yeah, we got to work on Carla here. I don't know, which one's Carla? Of the three, so you think this one's Carla?
The single one.
The single one? Yeah, Carla's a little bit of an odd soul. Different. You love the ducks. Hale Schlingenkruber. What is that, Josh Jones? I don't know. I feel like sometimes there's more ill than good that can come from flinging someone else's kid into a 6-foot pool of water head first. Hey, Mr. Shrekdom. Any angry geese up there? So at this park, there's a sign that says they're trying to get rid of the geese.
Can you check for duck poop?
You're good. Okay. Well, I disagree with that, Josh. But no, I don't think she had tattoos. I know you were asking. I think we concluded the other week that was it 38% of Americans have tattoos. Pretty huge percentage. Carl's just sitting there. She's not coming over quite yet. No, let her. You toss some bread on her.
I did.
Okay.
I hit her with it. Oh, you got some land ducks on you, right, though?
Oh, we got some land ducks coming over. Got a lot of water ducks here. Oh yeah, then we got some brown ducks on the way here on the left. So we're getting inundated with ducks here on all sides.
They're surrounding us.
Surrounding us for an attack. Wood ducks. Yeah, Carla's a little out of it right now.
Brown duck.
So how's everybody doing? What's on your minds today in terms of life, news, and otherwise? The brown ones, okay, they're wood ducks. I don't think they're actually made out of wood.
Is that like a type of duck, or is that
I don't know, is that a type of duck, Josh?
a joke? Oh, who's the duck expert?
Yeah, the duck expert has not come back. We had a duck expert on the other night, and they promised to come back, but they have not been back on a stream since. So these are actually called wood ducks? Can somebody corroborate that? They are pretty. Colin, yeah, what's on your mind, man? You've got a lot of catching up to do on the Discord. I think you've fallen well out of first place, man. Are we drinking tonight, or are we sober tonight?
Oh my god!
Oh,
Carla's getting chased.
the brown ducks are chasing Carla around. Mr. Shrekdom says, newswise, I found out a few minutes ago there were major fires, explosions within the last couple days. Other than Beirut, where? Where were these other fires and explosions? So I think the story that's getting all the press here today is Joe Biden's gaffe on a radio interview in which he asserted that unlike black people, Hispanic people have like diverse experiences and views. And he's getting sort of roasted for that being a pretty racist comment. Colin says, can't keep up with Jeanette and Josvita on the Discord. I'm sober. Why is that unfortunate, Colin? I think if it's unfortunate, you can probably fix it.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to get unsober.
Getting unsober is easier than getting undrunk.
That's true.
Josh, other places where flammables and lots of swirling sand and dust are. So where were these other explosions, guys? Democrat lady says, I'm trying to find homes for my 2 kittens. Hey, Democrat lady, where are you located and where are your kittens?
Can we take a kitten?
We might.
We are in the market for kittens.
What kind of kittens are they, and where are you located?
I think she might be full from yesterday.
Yeah, Carla's maybe a little bit full. Just Rectum says, Wuhan, China, Najaf, Iraq, the UAE, North Korea, and France.
Wait, is this where the kittens are?
No, I think that's where the explosions are. That sounds like a Nicholas would you rather question. Would you rather have a kitten or an explosion?
It does sound like a Nicholas would you rather.
Josh says, yeah, post links. Yeah, if you got links to other explosions, I didn't hear about those. So, yeah, we're waiting for follow-up from Democrat lady on the kittens. Jack says, anybody else hear about the California Free Hotel Math Lab program? I have not heard about that, Jack. Tell us more. Okay, Democrat says they're not purebred. They're in St. Louis. What do they look like, Democrat? MC says YouTube doesn't. You got links to post in the Discord, guys. That's the best place to post links. Discord is linked in the description, by the way, for anybody who doesn't have it previously. If you want to join, counts as 0 alcohol in the house, and it's late. You can't buy alcohol after 10 p.m. Really?
Wait, really?
Is that you can't buy alcohol? Is that because the shop is closed, or is it because is that like a rule? I thought it was weird when we have like places. We still have some states where you can't buy alcohol on Sundays.
Yeah, that's true. I think Utah, there's some sort of rule about when.
Pennsylvania was that way. Josh, the link to the Discord is in the description. It should be the second link in the description. If you can't figure out how to join it, let us know. Okay. St. Louis, they're not purebred. Okay. Colin says 0 alcohol. Yeah. Okay. Math lab or meth lab? That's another would you rather. Math lab or meth lab? I feel like we'd get a mixed set of responses on this group.
Depends on what the question is. Are you running it? Are you participating in it? Are you...
Well, you get to pick. Meth lab is probably more lucrative.
That's why I was going to.
But also more dangerous. You get in a lot of trouble for that. Colin says Scottish rule. Okay, interesting. I didn't know that was a rule in Scotland. Gotta plan ahead if we ever go visit Scotland.
We gotta get our alcohol early.
Colin, if you come to DC, you're gonna be like blown away by how late bars stay open.
Wait, is this so this is alcohol period, not just...
I know, Colin's saying it's a Scottish rule. I don't know.
Is it like a store?
What about bars, Colin? How late can you get alcohol at bars?
You must be able to get alcohol at bars pretty late.
Random says a gigantic proportion of face masks being sold at stores around me are made in China. Well, a large proportion of everything made at stores is made in China. Nicholas, hey Nicholas. Good to see you. Speaking of Nicholas.
You want to ask the would you rather question?
I can't remember what it was.
Would you rather have a kitten or...
A kitten or an explosion?
An explosion. It's a good question.
Yeah. Democrat says one is gray and one is gray and tan. Both are tiger striped. So you got like a gray tiger striped cat. Is it when you say gray? Does it look like it's like a Siamese or? I think we would love a gray tiger striped cat. The one is gray and tan. Okay, so one is gray and tan, and one is gray with tiger stripes.
stray with tiger stripes?
Both would be appropriate.
Oh, both would be appropriate.
Colin says, well, it's a law. But Colin, does that law apply to bars or just stores? Different says meth lab sounds more lucrative. Okay. Yeah, Different agrees with me. The meth lab is more lucrative than the math lab.
That's what I was asking. Are you participating or are you running it?
I don't know. I mean, would I rather visit a meth lab or a math lab? I mean, what are you doing in a math lab?
Math?
Math is not that fun.
Math is fun.
MC says, all my masks are made in China too, even my American flag mask. Well, that's appropriate, MC. Bob says, would you rather shave your head or shave your eyebrows? How long does it take eyebrows to grow back?
Oh.
Like there was a time when that was a trend. Yeah, I picked mine out. I'd probably go the eyebrows. I don't know. I'd probably look weird with a shaved head.
I probably would go eyebrows too because I can draw those in.
I feel like it's more socially acceptable in most cases for men to be bald.
Yeah, that's true. I think I can rock a eyebrows.
Do you think Mrs. Land should go bald? Colin says, yeah, bars, nightclubs are later, but I'm talking about, okay, sales at a liquor store. Okay. Okay, that makes sense, Colin.
I feel like you get some of that here.
But that just means you got to plan ahead and make sure you got a nice emergency supply of alcohol. Democrat says, no, the gray one has dark gray stripes.
But that's perfect.
Yeah. Okay. We're kind of liking the sound of these cats, Democrat lady. How old are they? And do they have names yet? Jack says, San Francisco putting homeless people in hotels, and they're making methamphetamine there. You have to love the entrepreneurial spirit. Yeah, San Francisco has a lot of, I guess, well-intentioned but sort of poorly executed programs for the homeless. The the drug needles program, the amount of millions of dollars they spend on drug needles in San Francisco every year to make sure that the homeless people aren't using dirty drug needles is astronomical, and all of that does, of course, is create more dirty drug needles. So it's a self-perpetuating cycle. But yeah, San Francisco has a lot of bad programs. I guess if the hotels are empty, why not put them in, put homeless people in them? Colin says, I've watched enough Breaking Bad to know to know if have the meth lab. Oh, I'd have the meth lab. Okay. We talked about meth. I can't remember what your answers were on meth the other day. I won't press you guys to volunteer who's a meth person or not.
Have people admitted to other drug use?
Yeah, we had a whole day on drugs a few weeks ago. We seem to generally be very pro-drugs in this group. I think everybody was pro-alcohol. I think most people were pro-marijuana. And then there was a lot more sort of hard drug use than I had anticipated. MC says, my brother shaved his eyebrows off once for no reason. It took me about a full minute to figure out what was wrong with his face. You could draw them in. You get like a black Sharpie and you can draw on your eyebrows and then it looks normal.
Do that anyway. Fill in the eyebrows. This time you're just filling it in more.
Yeah, there's an episode where Uncle Leo shaves his eyebrows and then draws them in.
Here you go.
Yeah.
We need to get back on Seinfeld.
Yeah, we've been moved off of Seinfeld. Julian, hey Julian. Julian says bald girls are hot. Is that your type, Julian? Option says lol. Now says I drink till it's gone every time. I can't keep a stash.
Yeah, that's like me too.
Okay, you guys got to learn how to store up. I keep I get frustrated.
Land always gets on me for not keeping emergency chocolate in the house.
Yeah, you need an emergency stash of chocolate, of alcohol, pretty much of food of all kinds. You need like several months of emergency everything.
Well, what if it's an emergency and I just need chocolate?
Exactly.
That's how all my chocolate's appear.
Okay, Colin says if Mrs. Land goes bald, do it for charity. Where would the money come from, Colin? Difference is we all agreed meth is great. I've got a story about that, but I really can't tell it on the internet.
Have I heard the story?
Maybe. Yeah, if somebody wants to hit me up about my story sometime in private,
Wait, I've heard the story. I've heard the story.
Democrat says in a week they will be 3 months. The gray one is Chub Chub, and her sister is Lovey. Huh. We might have to work on renaming them. Not sure I'm digging those names, Democrat.
Chub Chub's a lovely name.
Okay, well, I think we're definitely fans of these cats. Are they friendly? Are they, like, outgoing? I know how much cats get handled as when they're kittens can affect their personality for the entire life.
Do they like cuddling?
Yeah, do they like cuddling? Do they like playing? Are they like laser pointer cats? Are they string cats? MC says, I used to buy a 750 milliliter bottle of rum every 2 days. Yeah, that sounds fair. What's the most drinks you guys have ever had in a single night? Bob says, I never store up either. Yeah, you guys got to build your stashes. Colin, I don't remember what my last question was. Oh, you were saying if Mrs. Land goes bald, it should go to charity, but where would the money be coming from? She shaves her head. It's just, all she has is a shaved head. There's no money to go to charity. Julian says, how much do I have to pay you to swim with the ducks? So, Julian, there is a duck fund in the description. It's a PayPal link. If you want to give us a donation on the PayPal link, would much appreciated. If you want to caveat that with, we have to go swim with the ducks. I don't know, the price for swimming with the ducks.
You're gonna have to do that. I'm not doing that.
We'll go like maybe, if you go $75, we'll try to find a way to swim with the ducks. Difference is cats from Democrat households come very emotionally stunted. Yeah, different. That's a little rude. Colin says people sponsor her to do it once she reached the goal. She shaves her head. Okay, yeah. If somebody, how big of a duck fund donation would it take to shave your head?
Duck fund donation. No, this is going to charity.
Well, we'll take the money from the duck fund and give it to charity.
To shave my head?
Yeah.
Should quite a bit. I don't know if I want to shave my head.
Well, name your price. 1,000?
2,000.
Okay, $2,000 donation. If somebody wants to donate $2,000, we will, at least one of us will shave our heads.
You're betting away my hair.
I'll do it if you don't want to. Democrat lady says, yes, I have to hand feed them because their mom died. They are very social. They are litter trained and totally weaned. That's very sad that their mom died. So you haven't they're like, I guess it sounds like they're very sad because their mom died. Change in environment might rattle them even a little bit further, but I guess once they have a nice home. Colin says, set an unrealistic goal, Mrs. Land, if you don't want to do it. MC says, I used to shave my head all the time, but in 2020, I think it's a bad idea. Why is that, MC? Is there some 2020 reason that it's a uniquely bad idea now that wasn't in the past? I don't know how to. Does it like, would it be itchy when it grows back?
Probably, just like any other hair.
Yeah.
Does your face itch when your beard grows in?
Not really. You know, I guess by virtue of not having ever seen most of you, I don't really know what most of you look like. So I guess it's all like mental imagery. Oh, different says he means because of skinheads. Yeah, you just need to like. Yeah, I guess that could be an issue. Democrat says no, they are happy little girls. I just want to find them their forever home. So they're girls. Um, okay, well we'll talk about it. Democrat lady, are you on the Discord? Colin says I've done it a few times. I looked like a thug. Colin, I think you could pull it off. MC says, yeah, I don't want to look like a skinhead. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of people playing professional sports who have shaved heads who are not skinheads. I think we talked about the cone heads once before. They had shaved heads, but they also had cones for heads. Julian says, I would never shave my head. I love my hair. Julian, what's your hair like? Democrat lady says, no, but I could join the Discord. Yeah, well, if you wanted to communicate with us about any cats you have, that would probably be the best way to do it.
I don't know if is there any other way to get in contact?
You can email me alternatively at landspeculation@gmail.com. Julian says, I get a haircut every week and a half. Wow, that's a lot of haircuts, Julian. That's like a lot of time. I feel like I get haircuts maybe once every 4 months or so.
How long are you going now? You haven't gotten one since the... No, you did get one.
No, I did. I got one like the day before the pandemic shutdowns broke because I was thinking ahead, and that was smart. And then I got one again sometime in June, toward the end of June, I think. Had to go to a different barber shop. Coneheads come from France, right? Says MC. I don't know if that's true. I don't know where the coneheads come from. Not sure why they would come from France. Yeah, thanks, Democrat lady. Julian says, what kind of haircut? A taper fade. So let me think what that... Okay, taper fade. Yeah, I always get like a... I can never get them to cut it quite as short as I want it. Their instinct is to not go that far. Usually because I think they want more business, and the shorter I get it cut back means the longer it'll be until the next time.
At that point, I should just learn how to cut your hair.
I usually go for like a number 2 razor on the sides, faded to finger length on top, and then by the time it grows back in, it usually gets, pretty long.
Would you let me cut your hair?
Maybe once. I guess it would be a tryout. I used to cut my hair. There was a couple year period of my life where I cut my own hair.
Great.
Yeah, it would look terrible. Luckily, it didn't matter at that time. But it saved money. Now, this weird question: what does an average haircut cost in the States? MC says $15 to $25 usually. Yeah, and in DC they're going to run you a bit more. I think with barbers always want like pretty significant tips. So if you're getting a $25 haircut, usually they'll price it at some odd amount, like $28. So you feel like you're being cheap if you pay $30, and then you end up like way overpaying on a huge tip. Difference is, what's a Scottish eighth of weed cost? I know you know. Colin says 10 quid. Hey, different. How much does meth cost? MC says, chow. They're cheap. Democrat says, any more states rolling back from COVID? Rolling back or rolling forward? I don't know which is which.
I don't know which is which either.
That's like on the wagon, off the wagon. I always forget what is what. I guess rolling, would that be rolling back restrictions or rolling forward restrictions? I guess moving forward from COVID would be like opening things back up, but rolling back would also be moving forward. So I don't think a whole lot of states are lightening restrictions right now. I think, if anything, states are tightening restrictions. The governor of Ohio now has COVID, apparently.
You can move very slowly. There's a duck peeking around your back.
Oh, we got a duck back here? How you doing, duck? Oh.
He's scared of it.
Yeah, these are little standoffish ducks. Different says, I don't know, I only did, Different did meth for a week. How easy was it to quit meth, Different? Cal says, I'm joking, Different. Well, it's 10 quid for a haircut. 10 quid for a haircut would be pretty cheap. Jillian says, hit me up if you need some weed. Yeah, good to know, Jillian. Democrat lady retracted a message, okay. MC says, I know the cost of meth in California, even though I've never touched the stuff. How do you know that, MC? Julian says, do a hand reveal? You want me to show you my hands? Why? MC says 60 per gram. Different says, let's just say it's unbelievably addictive. Yeah, I'd assume that's why people end up doing it for long periods of time. Mr. Shrektum says, how bad are the mosquitoes out there? Right now, they're not too bad, but at night they can get bad. I haven't noticed them so much at this location.
Yeah.
A couple other places we go, they get pretty bad. Definitely in DC, you get lots of gnats and mosquitoes. DC is in a swamp, so it gets pretty bad there. In fact, sometimes you see them on camera. Commando, hey Commando, says, New York City set up Nazi checkpoints and ordering travelers from hotspots states to quarantine for 14 days or pay a $10 fine and or jail, or a $10,000 fine. Well, that's pretty extreme. Oh, I guess, so you don't quarantine. So the punishment for that is you go to jail and get put in there with thousands of other prisoners.
Yeah.
Okay. New York, always a bastion of wonderful policy. Colin says, how do you assume I know how much weed costs? I'm not assuming anything, Colin. MC says, when I was drinking, I had friends who loved the stuff. I distanced myself from all of them when I stopped drinking. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not like, I don't know, how much does like drinking a lot correlate with doing heavy drugs? Kieran says, because you told us. Oh, that's I guess directed to Colin. Hey, Liquid. We're doing pretty well, Liquid. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Liquid is the administrator of our Discord, so if anybody has Discord questions, Liquid would be the go-to. Well, Liquid, good to see you. I feel like Liquid, we see you like you pop in like once a week. Commando says, next de Blasio will put people on trains to Auschwitz. I don't know that that's related, but he's a pretty bad policymaker by and large. And he's so far seems to be passing a lot of unconstitutional policies. Hey, Duck. Hey, Carla. Hey, Ducks. Oh, you're a little scared. Hey, Carla. Carla, come here. Colin says, I don't smoke weed, different, but my Mates will be able to tell you exactly how much I prefer the harder stuff.
The 10 quid was not for the weed.
No, the 10 quid was for the haircut, I think.
I thought the 10 quid was for the weed.
Well, it could be that too. Okay. Differences like what besides Coke is ketamine big there? I love me some ketamine. Jack says, I put myself through college selling crystal meth. I'm not bragging. I did what I had to do at the time. Wow. It's a hell of an admission, Jack. Jack, so tell us about the supply chain for crystal meth. Who are your predominant buyers and where are you getting the stuff to begin with? MC says, I would say that being an alcoholic doesn't necessarily mean you will move to harder drugs. It doesn't even mean being exposed to them necessarily. I think it depends on the addict. Yeah, I mean, I've known a lot of drunk people in my life. I don't know that I've known that many people who do hard drugs. Come here, Carla. Yeah, I want to get Carla back in the mix here. Okay. Colin says, ketamine is bigger among the younger generation here. It's not something I go near. Any swans in that lake? I haven't seen any swans. We do have this big white pekin who in the past has been very friendly with us. So we will see if she decides she wants to be friendly with us today. You're the drink right now, though. David says you should go to Scotland and do a Coke stream with Colin. Is that like a double entendre? Different? Yeah, I'd like to do a stream with Colin at some point. We might have to do it drinking sometime in DC. Julian says your girl sounds cute.
Thank you.
Face reveal. No, Julian, we haven't even gotten around to the hand reveal.
I feel like you revealed your hand at some point.
Well, Julian was asking me to do a hand reveal, and I didn't.
Yeah, but you've shown your hand feeding the duck before.
Yeah, I mean, my hand's been on camera before. I feel like you don't want to move too quickly. If you haven't revealed hands, you certainly don't want to be revealing faces.
Oh, well, come on. The relationship's been going on for quite a while with viewers, right?
That's true.
This is what date?
I guess I've been dating the ducks here for what, a couple months now.
I feel like that's enough to do with hand reveal.
MC says, I pictured a mountain stream flowing with Coca-Cola. Yeah, Coke stream would be fun. That's like where those polar bears live. Bob Jones says, Julian, do you prefer your chicken fried or baked? Why is that a question for Julian? Josuita, hey Josuita. Yes, another beautiful day. Colin says, lol, live Coke stream. That's interesting idea. Different always has different ideas. Come here, Carla. Random's asking to do the corn maze. No, we still have to do the corn maze. Why have we not done the corn maze yet?
What corn maze?
We're gonna do the corn. What's the corn thing?
Oh, the corn statues.
Yeah, we got to go see the corn statues one of these days.
Yeah.
Oh, Julian's name is Julian Eats Chicken. I guess I don't even pay attention to what happens after your first name, guys. So yeah, we can do a Coke stream. We have not done the corn statues yet, but we can. This is a very pretty duck, but it's very standoffish here. Shrektum says, I have a stripper family member named Carla. I like the duck version better. Well, you know, the duck is naked. Democrat says, I used to eat duck, but it's been a very long time. We have so far managed to never eat any of the ducks that we have streamed. Josuita says, Land, did you add new thing to Discord? Tic-tac-toe, fun idea, and would you rather? Yeah, I added a couple of bots to the Discord for would you rather questions, and I think they do other things too. I think Tic-tac-toe, Connect 4. I think they also do Truth or Dare. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with all these bots. Julian says, Land, you should go to Raising Cane's. Have we done Raising Cane's?
You have not. I have.
Okay, Mrs. Land has had Raising Cane's. I have not.
I am also just a very big chicken fan.
Raising Cane's is just like a chicken fingers restaurant.
Yeah. But their sauce is very good.
That just seems like the kind of restaurant you would invent when you're in like the 7th grade, and then not really when you're an adult. What is everybody's, I mean, this is going to be tougher for those of you who are abroad, but what is everybody's favorite fast food restaurant generally? Yeah, Julian, I know they have Ohio locations. Julian says fried chicken is the best.
Agreed. Well, chicken wings.
Chicken wings, fried chicken. Julian, what's your favorite chicken restaurant? Is it Raising Cane's? MC agrees Raising Cane's is pretty good. We have them in California now. Just says Land should go to Land, aka Land of Illusion. What is Land of Illusion? Shrekton says Five Guys. Wait, Julian, what is the yup to? Democrat lady says Olive Garden. Hey, okay, Olive Garden is one of those places that like 30 years ago was like a really good place and a big deal, and now it's like the laughingstock of everybody, and I don't get why. Like, it still seems fine to me. Jillian says Cane's. Okay. Yeah, Cane's is Julian's favorite chicken place. So Julian, I'm taking it you're like a fried chicken fingers guy. So if you had to pick between chicken wings, chicken nuggets, and chicken fingers, what would you pick, Julian? Different also votes Five Guys. Five Guys to me feels a little overrated. Like, I'd take a Wendy's hamburger about equivalent with Five Guys, or at least for the price differential, I'd take a Wendy's hamburger. MC says In-N-Out. So In-N-Out, if you didn't have the animal style thing, like, is that really good otherwise? Colin, so we've been in Nando's. Yeah, we've been in Nando's. DC has some Nando's. It's okay.
I really
like we talked about Nando's on the stream of, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. It's like fine. I don't understand why it's such a big deal in the UK.
It's cheeky.
It's okay. Democrat lady says baked chicken is the best. It's certainly the healthiest of the options we talked about. And I don't necessarily disagree with you, Democrat lady.
Look at this duck with the bread on the back.
Oh, yeah, it's got some bread caught on the backside of its
Food
neck
on
there.
the back of its neck, and I wonder if someone else is going to eat it off the back. It's still there. Hi, buddy.
Hey, Carla. Jillian says, my girlfriend likes to eat the Olive Garden breadsticks like it's me. Julian. Josia says, oh my, LOI, Land of Illusion, started as a haunted corn maze and grew. It is in Middletown, Ohio, and right now it is a summer park. It has a bar and food. Okay, I have not heard of that, Josuite. I do know where Middletown is. That's sort of on the way between Cincinnati and Dayton. I have not been to Land of Illusion. Haunted house corn maze. Would you rather be in a haunted house or trapped in a corn maze? I feel like Nicholas is letting us down on the would you rathers today. We need some would you rathers. Julian says chicken fingers between the chicken nuggets and the wings. Okay. Difference is Five Guys uses actual ground beef though. Wendy's is half cardboard. That's true. Um, McDonald's is the same everywhere, says Random. Come here, Carla. Did Mrs. Land just say cheeky Nando's? Or Nando's? Yes, yes, Colin. Nando's is like really not that great though. I don't get it.
What? You don't think it's that great?
It's not that great.
I think
It's
great.
okay.
I like
It's
it.
fine. Nancy says, yes, I always get In-N-Out burgers plain these days. Just meat, cheese, and bun. It's still amazing without the sauce. Yeah, I'm not a huge sauce person, so I like stuff that can kind of stand on its own. Just sort of solid, fresh ingredients. Joshua says, Land of Illusion, best known for 1 mile haunted trail in the fall. And they also have Christmas lights, drive-through displays. I'll put a link on Discord. Okay. Yeah, Jillian, Joshua, I've not been there. I wouldn't be averse to checking it out. Random says, Royal with cheese is a quarter pounder. Random, I prefer the Big Mac. Are you a quarter pounder devotee? MC says, Random, I learned that from John Travolta. Jack sold crystal meth for $60 a gram in 1978 to 81. Cheaper than cocaine then, and college students use it to cram study. Crystal meth helps you cram study? I guess it would. Maybe. So Jack, where did you get the crystal meth? Mr. Shrektum says, if you could have only one type of protein for the rest of your life, what protein do you pick? It's an interesting question between like chicken, beef, pork, fish, duck. You know, chicken's probably the most versatile. I think I probably like beef. I might be, I mean, I guess if it weren't for the mercury, I might be tempted by fish though. Democrat lady says seafood. Yeah, Democrat lady, you and I have similar tastes. Julian, I'm not going to answer those because those are getting a little inappropriate. Colin says, that's funny, Mrs. Land. Cheeky Nando's, where did you pick that up? Colin, everybody knows that. Yeah, Julian, you said you had a girlfriend, Julian. What's going on? He was asking me to describe you. Colin's asking, where did you hear Cheeky Nando's?
I don't know. Isn't it all over the internet?
Yeah, it's just all over. Julian went, oh yeah, there's a shoe reveal, Julian. Julian says, oh sorry, I have a girlfriend. Girlfriends. Wow. Okay. Julian, how many girlfriends do you have? And do they know about each other? Josephine says, pick beef. Where's the beef? Yeah, beef is good. I might be tempted to pick beef. Yeah, Beefy, I don't know. Beefy Productions. I don't know what that stands for. I don't know where you guys get some of your names. Because I don't know where I got my name either. MC says, pro girlfriends. Julian says, I'm not sure. Julian's not sure how many girlfriends he has. Julian, you should probably get a handle on that. Mr. Shrektum says, I too often lose track of my girlfriends. It makes my wife very angry. Yeah, I could see that, Mr. Shrektum. Colin says, it was a meme here, but because everyone who went to Nando's all looked like the same Spice Boys. Remember the Spice Girls? Remember the Spice Girls?
Yeah.
Are they still around?
What do you mean, are they still around? Like, are they alive or are they still together?
Like, yeah, are they a band?
They're not a band.
don't know when were they last a thing. It had to be a long time ago.
Didn't they have some sort of reunion at the Olympics?
I don't know. Colin says, okay, yeah. Random says, sad but true. I used to crush and sniff Ritalin. It gives you a coke-like high. I do not recommend it. So why did you do it, Random? I guess for the coke-like high. Do they still prescribe Ritalin?
Yes.
Okay. This one says, made Julian's girlfriends never meet each other. Julian says I take them to Cane's. We were watching the episode of Seinfeld the other week where George has to take a really undesirable person out for a date, so he takes her to get a Big Mac. Always the generous spender. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
This one, he's at the unemployment office, and the lady's.
Oh, you're right.
They're sitting in the car after their date. I can't remember the last time I had a Big Mac.
You're right.
Difference says we snorted my friend's Ritalin in middle school. I would recommend. Yeah, that's who is we? MC says apparently the Spice Girls had a reunion tour last year.
Oh.
Really? They must be. I feel like they were a thing back in like the mid '90s. Julian, who is the they that you're asking about? Democrat lady says, are the protests dying down? As far as I know, Democrat lady, I have not heard a lot of protest activity in the last several days. And it does sort of feel like there has been a real shift in national coverage away from both the protests and also a little bit away from, actually a little bit away from COVID as well. I think this Beirut news seems to have, captured a lot of attention, and I think people are starting to move on to the election in earnest. I don't know why it just it felt like a switch flipped in the last few days.
No. Oh, Carla.
It's because there's a dog.
No, Carla, come back.
She'll be back. She'll be back. The dogs always scare off the ducks.
Wait, who? The duck?
I think just women in general.
Oh, just women?
Well, his many girlfriends.
Oh, should I answer that?
No, we don't have to answer that. Colin says, sorry, I'm not making sense clearly. Lol, I must be too tired. I'm going to head off. Enjoy the rest of you. Hey, Colin, you're doing fine if you want to stick around.
Yeah.
But if you got to leave, then we understand that too. Up to you, man. Don't worry. Okay, Spice Girls were formed in 1994, says MC. The Sweetest says, every night, riots still there, mostly Portland, Seattle, and Louisville. Are they, so, Joe Sweet, are they still raging the way that they were, or are they kind of quieter now, though? I feel like the media has decided to really not focus on it anymore. Julian says, there are finally Biden commercials. He came out from hiding. There was a Biden commercial released today. It's pretty controversial. It's sort of very aggressively blames Trump for people not being able to see their grandkids because of coronavirus. Just Sweetest is by Colin. Yeah, Colin, if you want to stick around, you're certainly welcome. MC says, wow, Spice Girls have sold 85 million records. Insane. It's a lot of records. I didn't think they were that impressive as a group. Just Sweetest says Portland and Seattle, yes. Okay, MC Max says night, Colin. Julian says protests in Portland are completely peaceful now. So Julian was apparently at the protests, and then has contracted COVID and now has many girlfriends. So we're painting an interesting portrait here of Julian. we weren't trying to get into the courthouse. So where were you trying to get, Jillian? You're trying to get to the feds. So, okay, I guess I will never really understand what was so offensive about having feds protecting the courthouse. I don't know. Portland to me was sort of largely bizarre, kind of inexplicable rage and energy, and just a lot of I can't really figure it out. So the polls are starting to tighten a little bit. I had predicted this several days ago. There's yet another poll that showed Trump within about 3 points. If you took the average of the last 3 polls, he's behind by 4.5 points. And over the last 7 polls, he's behind by about 6.5 points now nationally. So the race is starting to tighten a little bit at the presidential level. And I think there's a very plausible scenario that Trump by October could be within 4 points or so, which was sort of what I thought he needed to be within in order to make a run at winning. So that's an interesting development, that the presidential race is now getting real. Joe Biden has said he's not going to go to the convention in Milwaukee. Trump is talking about delivering his acceptance speech from the White House, which may have constitutional ramifications, but would be quite interesting. Jaswita says, Julian, there are links to Portland riots last night at the police co-op, but JC is more peaceful. What is JC? Oh, is that the courthouse? Julian says, causing violence is prohibited. Now is prohibited in Portland. You cause violence, you don't support BLM. Since we were talking about last night's riot in Portland in Discord this afternoon, that is where the links are. So, Jaswita, I have to catch up on like several days of Discord conversations. I have been, I've been really busy. I have not checked it. I've not sort of read everything, but I will here as I get free up here the next few days. Kind of go back through everything and make sure I'm addressing all points of concern. Different says, it's cute how BLM is pretending they aren't terrorists now. Julian is back home. Julian, where is home? Home is Las Vegas for you? Is that where the multiple girlfriends are? Or the multiple girlfriends spread out in different cities? Julian has to quarantine. Well, if you tested positive, Julian, I hope you're quarantining. MC Max's violence was already prohibited everywhere. Well, it's true. Violence was already... Committing, like, felony violence was already illegal, certainly. Julian lives in Vegas. So how's Vegas going? Is like I know the casinos are open. Are they hopping right now? Julian says, they don't track you or anything. I already met up with this girl. Oh, for the quarantine. So Julian tested positive for COVID and is now meeting up with, I guess, some of these girlfriends. Great, Julian. Difference is slinging that. Okay, guys. don't know. I thought you were. What to follow you? Yeah, I think. Well, the pecans all seem to be there on the center island.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, Carla's sort of buried under that tree over there.
I see her.
Not sure what she's doing over there.
Maybe we need to give her a little break and then she'll come back and love us again.
Okay, Random says only $75 for you to jump in that pond with the ducks. I'm thinking about it.
Oh God.
I will wade in the pond. Not sure I'm going to be swimming. MC said, I thought he was going to say 1,000. If anybody wants to donate $1,000 to the Duck Fund, you're certainly welcome. So we learned anything more about Beirut other than that there were other explosions around the country? Josvita says, Duck Fund, $1,000, that's a lot of bread.
That is a lot of bread.
Yeah, it is a lot of bread, but ducks are hungry. And ducks would be very happy. No new Lebanon news that I've heard, says Josvita. It's pretty amazing how quickly that sort of fell out of the top line of the news. I heard the death toll kept climbing. It's now like 250 or something. A lot more deaths now. The news cycle the last few days seems much more normal. Just kind of standard political talk and whatnot. Of course, the whole TikTok conversation is still percolating, and it sounds like Instagram has now unveiled something on its platform that is similar. 50, that's not bad. I expected more. It's just different. Well, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people have been, either made homeless or incapacitated by it. But I think the death toll is not actually that high. Jillian says, question, how do you prefer sleeping? Shirtless, boxers, or nude? Julian, what's your answer? I feel like it can depend on the night. Different sleeps in a that's smart different. That keeps you safe. Hazmat suit is very responsible, very smart. That helps protect you against COVID and against any invaders that might enter your house in the middle of the night. You probably want to sleep with like a giant machete in the bed there with you just to protect yourself in case anybody invades your house. Maybe sleep in like a spacesuit. Josvita says, today news cycle, NRA being sued by New York Attorney General wants NRA dismantled. And Mike DeWine has COVID. He wants live from home, looks and says feels good. Okay, I don't really follow a lot of the NRA news. I feel like the whole gun issue is just not that interesting most of the time. Other than for the people that are like really deeply embedded in it. Mike DeWine is the governor of Ohio. He has COVID now. He's been one of the most aggressive governors at COVID policies in the country. He's taken a lot of flack for that here locally for really locking down the state. And now he has COVID. He's kind of an older guy, so we'll see how he fares with it. Julian says he's the type of person to wear a mask in his car. Well, wearing masks may help. It does not mean you're immune from anything. So I guess that's a lesson to everybody. Random says cows sleep standing up. I think that's cool. I don't think I could fall asleep standing up. When ducks like twist their neck around, I think that seems very painful. Difference is someone always trying to sue the NRA. It never sticks. Josuita says he went live from home. Sorry, don't need NRA for your Second Amendment rights, but they do help protect that right. I can't really imagine, like, I don't know, I guess there are people that sort of make that their one issue in elections. I asked this the other night. I'm curious sort of what people sort of one, like, are you a single issue voter? And if so, what's your single issue most of the time? I know some people are like big gun voters, and I'm not. I feel like of all the rights in the Constitution, I'm just not that obsessed with that one. Julian says, man wearing a mask in Vegas shouldn't be mandatory. It's way too hot. You get a tan in 5 minutes. Maybe the mask tan's like the new thing. I don't know what to suggest to you, Jillian. He says it's not single issue. Okay, but what's your favorite issue, Jillian or Josuita? Like, what do you focus on the most? Different says I'm the single issue Second Amendment guy. Shall not be infringed. Interesting. Why is that like your big issue different? We got a whole like duck family just sitting out here in the grass to our left. Different says, isn't it obvious? Our guns are our last possible resort against tyranny. Yeah, but different. What are you going to do? Like, okay, so some horrible force takes over the government. Now they control the military. What are you going to go out and like just, start shooting with a rifle at the armed forces? Like, I don't understand how that's going to work. Julian says, what music do you like? We had a lengthy music conversation the other night about bands. We found out a lot about people's different musical tastes. One of the things we might add in the Discord is a bracket about different bands to kind of see who wins. In terms of what music I like, I'm pretty eclectic, honestly, Julian. It's hard to sort of put a box around it. I'm not into like crazy weird music, but I like sort of every era of great classic, rock and roll. I think there's good rock and roll from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and contemporarily. And I think as long as it's, good music, I think I can sort of get into almost any genre. I know some folks here are a little bit more selective. Just this is single issue equals the Constitution. That count? Okay, yep. So Josuita, would that make you like a Ron Paul devotee? Random says people have to communicate with their eyes now because of face masks. Yeah, it's probably a lot easier to rob a bank. MC says I'm with different on that one, on the Second Amendment. Okay. Wow, interesting. So 2 Second Amendment folks. Different says, yes, I will fight guerrilla warfare, and so will many others. Interesting. So different, I guess you're going to have to protect me then. Julian says, yeah, wearing a mask sucks when they look at your eyes. Don't forget, hunters are snipers also. Country full of snipers. Josuita says, love the band bracket idea. Yeah, I'll work on that one, guys. I'm always looking for ideas of things to throw up there, so let me know. Julian says, girls always be like, oh my god, your eyes are so cute. So annoying. Is that annoying, Julian, or is that flattering? Julian has green eyes. Okay. Kind of a messy eater.
Carl is back.
Is Carl getting jealous that we got,
She's nice looking.
okay. Uh, you're sort of a messy eater. Okay, Josuda says 3 on Second Amendment. I would never vote for someone against it. I don't not a single issue, if that makes sense. Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, I think most people are not necessarily single issue voters. But, you know, everybody's got sort of their favorite issues.
You keep dropping everything.
Julie says, just sweet, it would be weird for a Latino to have blue eyes. Well, oh, I didn't mean to give you that whole piece.
It's too late.
Yeah, too late. Now you're all full. So Julian, you asked, what? Give us your music tastes. I'm curious what you would say. Do you have a favorite band? I feel like some of the rest, everybody else maybe gave some answers the other day. But if you had to pick maybe... Oh, the dog? Yeah, okay. 1 to 3 favorite bands, who would they be? Guess I thought it would be obvious. What is your music type, Julian? I don't know. It's not obvious to me. Difference is I feel like Julian listens exclusively to Childish Gambino. Perhaps. Maybe Shoreline Mafia. I don't know what that is.
Never heard of it.
They kind of fell off. I've never heard of them, so they must have fallen off. If it hasn't at some point been in the, you know, kind of national conversation around music, I probably haven't heard of it. I know there are a lot of kind of niche and indie bands and whatnot, but I think you get to a point in life where you just get busy with things, and keeping track of all of the different sort of obscure bands is not a top priority. Yeah, these ones are so pretty, but they're just standoffish.
And they're very skittish.
Polo G? Who's Polo G? Okay, Julian, you gotta name some things that I will have heard of. What's like the most mainstream band that you're into? There has to be like somebody from the entire history of music that is like a group that most Americans would have heard of. MC says, what's up with the music channel in the Discord? How does that work? MC, I don't know. I have not explored the music channel in the Discord. Julian doesn't like the mainstream. Okay. Well, the thing is, when you get out of the mainstream, then not everyone knows what you're talking about. Some days my favorite music is silence. If you had to see one person of any genre perform in any fashion whatsoever for one night, who would you most want to see? Could be a musician, could be anybody. Could be a comedian. Could be some kind of performance art. Your questions are kinda IDK, says Julian. Well, Julian, if you've got questions, let me know. Julian. Yeah, Julian, if you're looking to buy me a t-shirt, probably a medium would work. Jack says, I don't use drugs, but I did sell them years ago. A monkey can't sell peanuts. Okay. So I guess I'm always intrigued by people that don't use drugs but sell them. That seems like an interesting life. I guess it's a pretty straightforward way of making money. Just who says, would you rather only be able to whisper or only be able to shout? Sometimes you get people who are sort of both typologies. Um, I don't know. It's an interesting question. I guess I'd probably go the whispering route. You know, some people just have quiet voices. So that probably would work better for a lot of things. I feel like only being able to shout is going to be a little tough to. I think that would start to grate on people. It's probably more important to have people you can talk closely with than people you can talk loudly at. Difference says, I bet a monkey could sell peanuts if properly motivated. Yeah, I think whispering's the answer there. Julian wants us to DM him on Instagram. Julian, I don't. So we did make a Ducks Instagram. I have not really checked it since the day we made it. I don't know if anybody has followed it or not. I don't typically go on Instagram. But yeah, Julian, if you're on the Discord, if you want to email me, there are a lot of different ways you can reach me. Jasuita says we would be saying "huh" a lot in live. If I were whispering or if I were shouting, probably to go live on YouTube, shouting would be better, but that would still probably be kind of grating. I could probably do really good ASMR videos if I could only whisper. Altruism says a monkey can sell weed in Jamaica. I have seen it. Okay, Altruism is shouting right now with the caps lock. Hey, Altruism, good to see you. Jack says Nikola Tesla. What about Nikola Tesla, Jack? MC says trained monkeys. That's what you want to see perform on stage? Dr. Bleep. Hey, Dr. Bleep. The chimp that shoots machine gun is not scared of the gunshots and surrenders when everybody leaves him. Impressive. I have not seen the chimp that shoots machine gun. That sounds interesting. They trained a monkey to use a machine gun. That seems pointless, but also probably pretty impressive. Tesla was pretty bitter. I didn't watch the movie that was getting all into the Tesla against Thomas Edison stuff. Dr. Bleep says, famous YouTube video. Okay, I have not seen it. But Dr. Bleep, I don't know if I don't know if you're new or not, but if you're on our Discord, if you wanted, I'd love to see the link of this monkey that can shoot a machine gun. MC says train monkeys selling peanuts or drugs seems plausible. I don't condone it though. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's plausible. I don't think it would be particularly like I think it'd be easier to make a machine that could sell those things than a monkey. Dr. Beast says 45 million views. Yeah, I can't search things while we're streaming. But this duck's having trouble getting out of the water here. MC says in Japan there are vending machines that sell snacks and mystery boxes with letters taped to the boxes. That sounds creepy. What comes in the box? Is it a surprise? Jack says in San Francisco, no doubt. It sounds like it could be a San Francisco thing too. What in the heck? Okay, so we actually have a swimmer over here. You guys were asking about swimming with the ducks. We have somebody who's actually doing it. We have somebody who is actually swimming with the ducks. You didn't even need to donate to Discord. That's actually pretty deep water. If that's the case, that person looks like they're probably in at least 5 or 6 feet deep of water. MC says some of the letters are happy or sad, some are mysterious. The snacks are usually somewhat normal. Candy, crackers, chips. Wow, okay. Yeah, don't do drugs, just sweeta. Awesome says Julian eats chicken, beaver fever. Julian, are you still on? Yeah, I think they got out. I think the person's getting out right now. I just wanted to make sure we didn't scare you off, Julian. I don't know. Okay, this person definitely scared off the ducks, though. Ducks all went back here. The CIA can deal narcotics. I don't see why I can't. Jack says, fair point, I suppose. Sorry about the camera, guys. Okay, Julian wants us to jump in too. Julian, what's going on tonight, man? You got a lot of energy tonight. Is everything okay? Here goes our Pekin friend. Fighting with the brown ducks. Why are you bored, Julian? How can we help? I thought you had like a hot date tonight. So I'm tracking the duck racing here. You're done with them? Why? Julian, have you ever thought about just like picking one person and just, sticking with that one person and just settling down and building a life together? That could be kind of fun, couldn't it? Or are you just, you're still out there? How can we help make your life more entertained? You want to be normal? Yeah, I mean, I can see the temptation. It's sometimes appealing. Although in Vegas, I would guess there's probably lots of opportunity. Probably tough. I don't know. Is anybody out on the dating market during COVID? I would imagine that's very difficult right now, as everybody's still kind of quarantined, trying to get dates for people who are still out there. Julian says, I kind of like trying different kinds of girls, or different types of girls. Are they, what do you mean different types, Julian? I don't know where these ducks are all going. Arson says, Julian's chicken equals blocked. I think Julian sounds interesting. I'm just trying to get to trying to figure out what's going on with Julian tonight. So I really want to be with this white girl, though. But she doesn't like me. Well, she doesn't like you, Julian, then there's nothing you can really do about that. You'd probably focus on people that seem to like you back and try to communicate an earnest effort in good faith to get to know them better. Carla. He says I'm a player. Well, Julian, you did say you have like several girlfriends. So, I mean, she's not wrong, is she? Jasvita says Big Brother started last night. It started with a contest right away. Big Brother is still on TV. I love the contest on that show. I have never been able to follow that show. It just doesn't seem like it's very good. Jen says she's tripping. I know, but she can't just say that. Why not? She doesn't know? Maybe she picked up a vibe. Intuition, yeah. Yeah, Julian, maybe you should, maybe just focus on one girl for a while and just, you know, try to reciprocate whatever effort she's putting in and kind of get to know her. I dress nice, but not like a player. What's your... So, Joe Sweet, are you a reality TV person? What's your favorite reality TV show? Julian, how the hell does she know? Well, she probably doesn't know, Julian. She's probably just making a statement because she is sensing something. Maybe she senses that you're not totally on board. Not showing real earnest interest. Survivor? Really? So I was talking about reality shows the other day. I'm partial to like Honey Boo Boo, The Simple Life, those sort of shows that were kind of subtle parodies of society. One of my favorite shows of all time was this one-season show called Flight Attendant School, where they tracked a cohort of flight attendants going through training for Frontier Airlines. It's like the craziest little reality show of a sort of completely non-exciting experience. Altruism says in Japan they're vending machines that sell snacks in mystery boxes that have letters taped to the boxes. Japan has a lot of interesting, unique cultural memes like single men renting girlfriends, silicone dolls. Yeah, are the sex robots a real thing now? Remember when I went to camp at like age 15, somebody went out and bought a blow-up sex doll. Jillian said maybe it's the designer. They just assume you're a player. What is that one, Joswita? Alone? Carla, come here. Oh, Carla's running away from us now. Nancy says, yeah, waifu is popular in Japan. I know men who have lived and worked in Japan. The expectations on men in Japan are brutal. I could never hang. Interesting. Random says, I was in an adult store and seen a blow-up goat. Are you serious, Random? That's got to be a gag gift, though, I would imagine. Come here, Carla. Carla, come here. Jaswita says, survivalist kind of. They get 10 items, are on an island in Canada. They get filming equipment. Last one left standing wins $1 million. Yeah, that's a pretty good show. I mean, that sounds like sort of simple premise, but probably in a good way. Random says, yeah, I think it must have been a gag. Yeah, I'm sure that's a gag gift. Missing family for about 40 days takes most out of the game. Really? That's what does it? It's not like practical things? Do they know how they're doing relative to the other candidates, or is it just they have to like keep living and eventually somebody tells you if you won? You have a very active beak, Carla. Julian, I don't know if I'll ever get married. So, Julian, did you ever tell us how old you are? MC says, I miss Cops, the show. Probably the only reality show I liked. Hey, MC, did you like Reno 911? Speaking of cops. Julian, if you told me, Julian, I forgot. We got a lot of folks that swing in and out here, and I lost track. 911 is not that good. Is that 911 or 911? Just it says, well, one for the bear outside his tent one night. They have no clue who is left in the game. The last player stays one more night, then a family member is flown in to tell them they won. Okay, so that's like psychological. I feel like if you knew how you were doing, you might be able to sort of hold out better. MC says, I never really watched Reno 911. I think I saw an episode or two, pretty silly. Yeah, of course it was silly. Altruism says, MC Mac, I grew up watching Cops, thousands of episodes. Okay, Altruism watched Reno 911. Okay, Julian's 22. So, Julian, you got time. You got time. Michael, hey Michael, would the US be better off if it was more of an Amish environment? Actually, there's a lot to be learned from the Amish. The Amish are quite an impressive population, actually, in a lot of respects. US would not be better off, certainly, if it were Amish, but there are certainly things I think you can learn about social cohesion from the Amish, and that's one of the things that may ultimately pull the US down. But certainly, no, the US would not be better off if we were Amish, because all of the wonderful innovations that we all enjoy that has made life the greatest standard of living in the world would not exist here. Which is yes, but requires amazing skills, building shelter, getting food, etc. Yeah, I'm sure. I would assume the kind of people that sign up for that are people who have some experience in that kind of thing, and you don't get people sort of going cold into that environment. MC says, at altruism, me too. I got really good at timing exact moment when the theme song would start with that hooah grunt at the beginning. Oh, for cops? Julian says, if the U.S. was Amish, the Nazis would have taken over the world. That's actually a pretty good summation, Julian, of kind of, it's all nice to be live a simple life, but at some point somebody's got to like invent the medications and fight the wars that push the world forward and invent progress so we can all have iPhones and whatnot. It seems like that's one of the more dangerous things about some of the movements we have now that are sort of designed under the premise that because this current system that we all live under is imperfect, that therefore it all needs to be torn down and started over. I don't think people really have any idea just how hard it is to make a cohesive, functional society that is, just peaceful for starters, but beyond that, that is actually like productive. It's like that is not something that anybody should be taking for granted, that we have like such a peaceful, productive, prosperous society. Like most other societies that have ever existed, the overwhelming majority of them were absolute disasters that enslaved, impoverished people, and kind of left everyone destitute and miserable, while advancing in nothing more than infighting and conflict. The fact that we don't have that and we have a society that achieves anything right is sort of a miracle upon miracles. So Julian, you keep sort of describing everyone based on their race. Maybe if you sort of thought of them more as like individuals with unique personality traits rather than just like sort of races and whatnot, you might have more success with them. You think, okay, if you think she could be the one, why do you think she could be the one, Julian? Christine says they get 1 week of training on first aid, using the camera, what plants they are able to eat, gonna game allowed to hunt 20 players. During that week, experts pick the top 10 likely to make it. Hey, duck. Oh, when these ducks like pretend like they didn't even mean to be here. Michael says, I think it would be better, although I think my definition of Amish is different. Living off the land, being more self-sufficient. Michael, the whole premise of a modern society is that we have a division of labor in which people don't live off their own land. That's like one of the metrics we use to describe the difference between people living in absolute poverty and people not living in absolute poverty, people living in third world countries and people living in non-third world countries, is when you don't have to live off the land and grow all of the things for yourself. It's the whole premise of the division of labor and modern economics, that we, each produce something that we're good at, we industrialize it, and then we share goods and services. We would not be better off if we all just lived off the land. I know there's a very romantic notion of that, but that would not be a better society. MC says, Amish are very religious and deny modern technology. The Amish what the Amish do really well is very strong social cohesion. One of the things that we sort of think is passé is the idea of having, sort of strong societal cohesion. And the reality is that goes a long way toward general societal health and morale. The Amish do that well, to achieve very complicated things with, sort of very basic technology. And, that's tremendously to their credit. Justina says medical checks are done once a week. Some have been magically pulled because their BMI gets dangerously low. Okay, that's on this show on the History Channel called Alone. MC says, except during that teenage time, except when they can have phones and can decide whether they want to stay Amish. Yeah, that's smart. I think one of the ways you keep society cohesive is you make sure that everyone who's there wants to be there. It's easy when you're sort of a small sect of the larger society. It's tough when you're trying to run an entire society that way. That's one of the challenges with a multicultural society, um, is that not everyone likes the same stuff. Like, says, yeah, that system is decaying itself and isn't leading to a brighter future, in my opinion, of course. Michael, you think the system that has produced, what do you mean? Michael, be explicit about which system you think is decaying and isn't leading to a brighter future. Um, Help me understand clearly what you're talking about. Altruism says cops. Best one cartel hitman escapes. Cops attacks. Cops run around. Half naked man in Miami fights police dog. Too drunk stoned guy with joint behind ear is baffled when cop asserts has smoking. MJ3 countless others. Altruism, are you doing okay? That you sound like you might be a little inebriated or something. Michael, I'm curious if you're talking about the Amish system or if you're talking about relying on others' labors and work. Um, Michael, I don't take the time to disagree that forcefully with people that often. The advancement of the division of labor, modern capitalist economies, is the greatest invention in the history of the world. And for a system that you're describing as decaying, sure has produced pretty remarkable results. In the last 50 years, global absolute poverty went from over 70% to under 10%. In other words, we raised the population around the world from people living above the threshold of absolute poverty from about a billion to close to 8 billion today. That is an unbelievable record of progress. The average GDPs of per capita 200 or 300 years ago were in the hundreds of dollars per capita. Now, around much of the developed world, they're approaching $70,000. In just a couple hundred years, we increased by 100-fold how much money individuals have, how much, and that translates, of course, to the sort of standard of living they can afford, the goods and services they can experience. To assert that in any way that represents a decaying system when the record of achievement in bettering people's lives around the world is so profound and so clear is a really irresponsible statement to me. Julian says, anyone else hungry? Julian says, I've once been stroked while getting a physical exam. Julian, who is giving you this physical exam? Alstrom says, Land, I'm good, bro. Puffing a fatty, chilling with friends. Okay, fair enough, altruism.
Don't leave! Don't leave!
Michael says, yeah, can't even listen to this. Wars, pollution, lobbyists, have a good life. You're complaining. I mean, that's like, there have always been wars. I mean, what does it mean, lobbyists? I mean, lobbyists are sort of an extension of the political system. People are going to make money in an economy regardless. I mean, people are always going to sort of have capitalist intuitions to make money. Pollution. Michael, what are you asserting? Like, what are you asserting would be better? Like going back to a standard of living where, everybody's in deep poverty. There's global oppression and worldwide warfare. I mean, it's like we haven't had a period of history with anything even close to this kind of standard. And what you're doing is some sort of like, you're sort of complaining about little tangential problems to a system that has like resulted in overwhelming good on behalf of the world. Like, that's just a crazy, crazy argument. Jack says, get a different doctor. Julian says, why, Jack? Josuita says, good night. Okay, Josuita. Hope we'll see you back around. Forgot to call my nom today. Gotta run. Okay, thanks, Josuita. MC says, warfare, as we have known it, will soon become obsolete, in my opinion. Warfare has been an inevitable reality of all of human history. I mean, there's a lot of interesting charts that sort of chart the history of warfare, the percentage of the time countries have been engaged in global conflict. By and large, what we've seen over the last 50 years is a smaller percentage of the world engaged in conflict than we've ever had before. Jack says, your doctor sounds like a perv from what you say. And he says, it's a woman. Altruism says, good points, I agree. I mean, I appreciate Michael's sentiments. I think a lot of people share those sentiments of, wouldn't it be nice if we all just sort of lived a simpler life? But at some point, like, the luxuries that make our life, that give us the ability to think those thoughts, have to come from somewhere. The economy doesn't just sort of incidentally exist at this level. Like, there are underpinnings to that if you start messing with them, you are really going to see a lot of bad things happen very quickly. And if you think the alternative to living in 21st century America is something better, there has never been anything in the history of the world that even comes close in any other format. So I'm not sure where the arrogance of that perspective comes from. So Julian, how did that come up? Jack says, silent wars happen to us as we speak. She acted like nothing happened, okay. Different says you're supposed to pay extra. Autism says cars, electricity, roads, waste, food. Yeah, like building a contemporary society with the luxuries that we have is not simple. Julian says, I was mad. Julian, do you have, is one of these many girlfriends somebody that can sort of help soothe some of these feelings? I had to go to the bathroom and finish it, so I didn't... Julian. Julian's thinking at the wrong head, says MC, yeah. Jack says, Julian, as you should have been. So we still have our pecans kind of running around over here. She had... Julian. Julian, she had even seen it. Maybe she just wanted to test how it... I don't know what to think about your stories, Julian. Also, this land, is that an underage troll? It was suggesting... it was... I don't know, altruism. Jack says, too much info, we get it. She said it was... Okay, Julian. This has been a really interesting set of stories from Julian today. Guys, thanks for the likes and the subscribes, by the way. You are watching Land Speculation on YouTube. The likes help us out a lot. The subscribes obviously help you guys. And if you're subscribed, please turn on your notifications because that tells you when we're on. Usually between 6 and 7:30 is when we come on weeknights, and then we stick around for a while. Yeah, thanks, Jillian, for the plug to subscribe. Jillian, I know you're having a little bit of a night here, but I do appreciate you hanging around with us. There's a Discord link in the description if anybody wants to hang out offline. So I'd encourage everyone to join that. And then there's also a link to a PayPal account, which is the Duck Fund. If anybody wants to help support with donations to that, that's very much appreciated. That's the main source of resources we use to fund this stream. So that's tremendously helpful. And the few folks that have donated to that so far is really great. So I'll just make a plug for that. We don't end up monetizing a lot of these videos, so that's the best source we have. So really appreciate that. But the likes and the subscribes help, so all of that is much appreciated, as is your time with us. Jeanette is here. Hey, Jeanette. Good to see you. I assume you just got off work, so glad you popped in here briefly. We were just starting to... It's getting a little dark. Starting to sort of explore a little bit here as the ducks start to wind down for the night. Jillian has been sharing numerous exploits with us. We got our pecans over here, still kind of wandering around. We had a good time with Carla tonight. She was a little bit more engaged than she was last night. These two seem to hang out together. Carla's a little bit independent from them. Jenny says it's too dark to see your face. Yeah, it's getting pretty dark here. Just show it. Julian, why do you want to see my face? Yeah, it's getting really dark, guys. So I don't even know where our ducks went. I think some of them are over on the hillside. Oh no, they're back in the water. Oh, you can't really see it. You have an interesting voice. What do you think I look like, Julian? Austin says, Land. Julian, is that an underage troll? Please don't pander to this type of vulgarity. Do you know what I mean? Like and subscribe. Yes, Julian, I am white. I believe Julian is 22, based on what Julian told us. Julian is usually all right. A little bit on the line tonight, but we're pretty generous here with kind of not censoring folks unless we absolutely have to. So, Hey, altruism is. We haven't seen Bill tonight. Do you know where Bill's where Bill is? All right, guys. It's getting a little dark here, so we're probably gonna start to wind it down here. Um, well, so Jillian, we're probably gonna kind of wind down the stream here a little bit because it gets a little too dark to hang with the ducks. But I do want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, and for hanging with the ducks and with us. Carla appreciates all of you very much. We do really appreciate the likes and the subscribes. Those help us. Your girl is texting you. Well, I would encourage everyone to check out the Discord, which is linked in the description if you want to continue the conversation offline. It'll probably move there. Anybody who hasn't joined the Discord, I'd encourage it. You can get in touch with me directly there if you want to, or landspeculation@gmail.com. We also have the Duck Fund, which is the PayPal link in the description. Astrozoom says, not seen Bill as of yet, surfing the interweb or living the good life, I hope. Josuita says, night land, mom is good. Good, Josuita. Glad to hear mom's doing well. Jillian, well, I hope you have a good texting with your girl here and that you're able to sort of sort out a single girl to move forward with here and let the others down easy. But we're probably gonna call it a night here and leave it where the Pekins so they can get some rest. So anyway, I do really appreciate you guys all joining us, and hope we will be back out probably tomorrow, and hope you guys all have good nights.